Welcome back to Baseball, Miami Hurricanes fans. This is Christopher Stock. In this video, I'm going to show you the first 3 innings of Miami's very first preseason inter-squad game. It went 7 innings, but I'm going to focus on the first 3 innings. You get a chance to look at Karson, Ligon, and Gage Ziehl on the mound. They're both looking for big second seasons for the Hurricanes. Miami's coming off a 40-20 season a year ago. They bring back a number of key players. They're ranked number 22 in the D1 baseball preseason poll. I know there's a lot of polls to be looking at, but that's the one I'll be focused on because that's the main one that the NCAA looks at. So a lot of newcomers, but you've got guys back like Yo-Yo Morales right here. Certainly a key guy. CJ Kafis is another one. Another guy that I'm really excited to see how he does this second season. And that's right fielder Lorenzo Carrier. He's back from a shoulder injury. He showed flashes early on in last season, but he looks great and certainly a big bat. Another couple of newcomers, Blake Sear and Caden Martin, 2 of Miami's highest regarded recruits coming in. We'll see if they can crack the lineup this season, but certainly newcomers, transfers. Ian Farrow from Florida Gulf Coast is a key one. 21 home runs a year ago, set a Florida Gulf Coast single season record last season. So certainly trying to bring his bat to the lineup. CJ Kafis, an all-ACC second-team performer. He's one of 4 returning starting infielders for the Hurricanes, along with Morales, Dorian Gonzalez Jr., showing off his speed right here. And also shortstop Dominic Patelli is back, looking to provide that good glove. Also some key hits on the lineup. Gino DiMare and his staff have a lot of players to kind of work in, a lot of battles in the outfield, even though they're bringing in the transfers, a lot of guys coming back as well. And also, too, I think the pitching staff is going to be very fascinating to see how things work. J.D. Arteaga has his guys looking to compete. They're going to get about 3 outings, mainly for the starters. Looks like they're going to go with a 5-man rotation out of the gate, 5 games in 6 days. Season starts February 17th with a 3-game series against Penn State. Andrew Walters is the one to watch for the Hurricanes. Big season a year ago as a closer. Will he make that transition to starter this season? We'll have to see how that goes. Interviews with Andrew Walters, Yo-Yo Morales, Gino DiMare, and also Gage Ziehl coming up here. Taking a look at Ziehl, I'm looking forward to seeing him on the mound once again. He's trying to make that transition to being a bullpen guy and maybe earning a start in the rotation. Another guy is Karson Ligon here. Getting a chance to see him. You know, he showed flashes as a freshman last year. He made 15 starts for the Hurricanes. The leading guy coming back from a year ago who made the most starts. So we'll see if Ligon can kind of transition and kind of have even a better season than a year ago. Definitely felt like he faltered down the stretch, but looking for a strong season. And I think a lot of these guys are just really hoping to get back to some success and get back to Omaha. Gino DiMare stresses that. A good step in the right direction last season, going 40-20 in the sense that they were able to be a national host. They hosted the regionals, exactly what you want, but they had that last day, and that's what everyone remembers, where they lost 2 one-run games and were knocked out of the regional. And then certainly all these guys coming back have that as motivation, and certainly they're looking forward to doing better this year, getting further, getting to super regional, all that kind of stuff, and moving forward. Again, Miami's not been to the College World Series since 2016, so I know everybody around the program certainly would like to see that. It's all going to come together. But let's take a look at it right here. Miami's getting ready to get started here. They're going to go 3 innings. The way it works, they've got 3 hitting groups. If you're new to this, they go 3 hitting groups, 3 fielding groups. I'll try to give you some pointers on where guys are with this top group. But out here in center field, that's Jacoby Long. He's competing with Dario Gomez, a Nevada transfer. He's going to lead off here in the top of the first against Ziehl. And Long's looking, he's gotten some playing time, but just trying to compete there. And Ian Farrow out in right field. Touched on him. And then over in left field, Gabe Gutierrez. Again, one of these guys that played a lot in the outfield, trying to hold off and earn a spot. Renzo Gonzalez, Edgardo Villegas are 2 other guys, too, coming back. So Ziehl last year, primarily a setup guy for Walters. 30 appearances out of the bullpen, goes 2-2 with a 4.04 ERA. 52 strikeouts, 16 walks, 35 2/3 innings there. He was a guy that was highly regarded coming out of high school, and I know he'd like to certainly be in the rotation. So we'll see how he does here getting started. Way it goes with Dario Gomez. Due up first for the Hurricanes with Villegas. CJ Kafis slated about third. Zach Levinson's another guy that returns for the Hurricanes, 4th. And then Ariel Garcia. We'll see those 5 guys in this first hitting group for the Hurricanes. And a catcher, Carlos Perez. This is one of these other positions, that catcher. Who's going to earn that spot there? J.D. Jones and Oregon transfers. Jack Scanlon are the 3 catchers on the roster. The way it's shaping up right here. On top of the first with the infield. Blake Sear in third base, Patelli at short, Gonzalez at second, and Renzo Gonzalez playing first base. He can play a little first and outfield, but here we go with Gomez due up to face Ziehl. And Dario's a really interesting player, really good player. He's someone I think will bat at the top of the order for the Hurricanes. That would be ideal for Gino, DiMare, and his staff. Center fielder, a guy transferring over from Nevada. Had 2 highly productive seasons at Nevada. After being a junior college transfer at Nevada, hit .351 in his 2 seasons, 13 home runs, 22 stolen bases, but the 34 doubles is what stands out to me too, 8 triples. So a guy that can provide some extra base hits. You know, he's a guy that played really well in the Northwoods League this past summer. One of the top organizations, one of the top leagues in the summer. He finished 2nd in hitting, hit .385. 4 home runs, 27 RBIs in 26 games. OPS over 1,000. Certainly like to see that number. So he's a guy that can provide some pop there from the right side of the bat. A guy with experience. A guy that I know that talking with him, he's excited to be at Miami. He's excited for this opportunity to play at a school, at a program like UM. Nice pitch by Ziehl there. Try to get Gomez a chase. Again, once the way it works, you know, we're going 3 innings here. Getting a good look at these guys, and there's a lot of guys I'm excited. You know, I do want to mention Morales. We're going to hear from him a little bit later, but Morales isn't going to play in this game. Dealing with something kind of a day-to-day thing, but nothing serious, it sounds like. And if you guys are interested, these inter-squad games are open to the public. It's good to see some fans at these events, and they practice. They go through some drills like today. They go through the hitting. They do batting practice. They did some fielding, worked on some base running details, stealing bases. Gomez takes a ball there up high. You know, after Gomez, it goes Villegas and then Cephas. 2 guys on the left side of the plate here. Going the opposite field there. Oh, Ian Farrell with a nice catch in right field. Known for his bat, but good to see his glove. Here's Ziehl on this upcoming season.
Yeah, no, this year really focused on, you know, putting up zeros and no matter who's in the box, you know, just getting the job done. A blast. I had a good host family. The guys on the team, the coaches on the team, really fun to be around. And, you know, the Cape is the most competitive, you know, league, I believe, in the summer. And, yeah, really fun. Yeah, you know, I think it makes the field look a lot better. And the pitchers have, like, their own little area, you know, to get their stuff done, whether it's, you know, weighted balls or bands. So I think it definitely, you know, brings us together because we have our own little area, a little closer together. So.
You looking to start this year?
You know, I'm looking to do whatever it takes to get to Omaha, whether that's, you know, play right field or play third base, even though we got a, you know, good third baseman, but whatever it takes.
Good New York, good to have New York option.
Ronnie was talking the other day about open. You think you guys can have that now you're out?
You know, that's a good question because I think for the games we're going to be in here. I don't think we're going to be down in the bullpen as far as the relief pitchers or whatnot during the game. But the pitchers definitely have a certain chemistry together regardless. I think all of us. We're all just a really close group, and we have one mission, and that's Omaha. Yeah, we got some pretty good hitters on this team. I think, whoever you put 1 through 9 is going to hit for us this year.
It's all good, coach. It feels like every time you get strikeouts in an inning, you grab all this fire. Where's that coming from?
I think that just comes with playing the game for a long time and not taking it for granted. It's something I think, you know, I've kind of done my whole life, and you know, getting a strikeout in a big situation, you know, you got a lot of emotions running through you, and that's just what happens. Not really, but like, you know, at any point you can get injured, and the game could be, you know, it could be your last game ever. So, you know, you never want to take it for granted.
Gage, how eager are you the rest of the guys to get back out there and are playing back the fans?
Very excited. I think we got the best fans in the nation, and everybody's pumped up for February 17th.
Villegas gets the base hit, but gets thrown out at second by Carlos Perez, trying to steal. Good throw by Perez, but a really good tag by Patelli to lay it down there. Got CJ Kafis up to bat here with 2 outs. Kafis coming off a year, hitting 366, 985 OPS. He's a guy that batted leadoff, and coach is very happy with that. There's a base hit right up the middle. Good hitting by Kafis, but we'll see if Kafis is going to bat third or maybe in the middle of the lineup after last season batting leadoff. So we'll see with Gomez in there, and I think Gino DiMare and his staff will take a look at it, kind of figure out what the best lineup is moving forward, with Zach Levinson up to bat here. Kafis on first with 2 outs, top of the first inning. Levinson's been playing right field, DH a year ago, hit 300, 7 home runs, 28 RBIs, the 951 OPS. But here's Yo-Yo Morales, you know, on what he kind of expects here as CJ Kafis swipes second base.
I mean, yeah, of course, especially after the season, you know, everybody was a little disappointed how it ended, but it's baseball. You just got to get past it, keep working, and this year now is our year. So we forgot about the past already and what happened last year. We're just worried about this year.
How do you get over that?
I mean, you just got to keep working. I mean, we have a season playing now. Our goal is to get to Omaha, and whatever happened in the past already happened in the past. That's out the window. It happened already. We're just worried about this year.
What did you learn about the season? Like last year, Gino kind of said you guys kind of looked into it at the end. So what did you guys learn about last season?
I mean, that it's not easy. Omaha is not easy. We're here putting the work in every day, Monday to Sunday, and we're just here to do what we can and just try to win this year. Try to get forward.
What was the experience like representing the team overseas?
I mean, it was an amazing experience, not only representing me, but my country. It was an amazing experience playing with players across the whole country. You know, the competition is just pretty insane.
What can you learn from an experience like that?
I mean, just learning from different players and trying to pick different players' brains from, you know, players from around the country, other teams, and whatever I can do to help my team win is probably the most important part.
What are you most excited about this season?
Winning. Everybody here wants to win. Everybody has the same attitude and mindset, and we're just going into this year ready for every competition that comes at us.
What do you like about the makeup of this year's team?
We're a family. Everybody here just wants the same goal, and it's to get to Omaha. We're here getting better every single day and just trying to bring a championship to Miami. It's preseason. Haven't done anything yet, you know. So my goal is this year is to be an All-American in the season and try to do whatever I can to help my team win games. Yeah. Part of the weight room, everybody likes to go in there and get the work done in the indoor. My freshman year was over, I'm pretty sure. And we also got a new baseball field that everybody's really excited about.
What's today like? You guys are at the fall. Today's like the first
Yeah.
real day to get focused.
I mean, yeah, we've always been focused since day one. Even as individual work, you know, everybody's locked in. Everybody has the same goal to get better every single day. So today is just the same I've always been doing, just as a team.
When is Coach DiMare in your first team? You got preseason accolades and the experience so far. Maybe does Coach DiMare expect a lot out of you to be a leader in the locker room around him?
He expects everybody to be a leader, not just myself. We want everybody here to be leaders, all 35 guys to be leaders, not just one person. So we just all want to be leaders.
We'll do a couple more for you.
of course. Yeah. I mean, it's special growing up with Dom since we were younger and being able to play with him here in the field and just learn from him on the defensive side and him learn from me on the hitting side. We do everything together on the left side of the field and outside of baseball as well, so it's really special.
How much have you learned from him?
Everything I know right now from him and my infield coach is basically from him. All my angles at third base, he helps me a lot in the infield. I mean, it's amazing growing up here, born and raised here in Miami, being able my parents come here and watch me, all my family members, and just means
So we'll see if Levinson can drive in a run here with 2 outs. Kafis on second base. Ball gets in the dirt here with Perez firing down wide to third base. Kafis gets in there as Levinson draws the walk. You know, one thing that Coach Gino DiMare talks a lot about with Levinson is just getting the ball elevated to left center, let the ball kind of travel. He really likes his power possibility. So that's something to watch for with Levinson. Another guy I talked to in the batting cages there at practice, Lorenzo Carrier. Another thing, he wants to elevate, really work on getting backspin as well. So he's making sure he gets the ball elevated. Something to watch for with him, a young player. Right-handed bat as well. You know, a right-handed bat that's really intriguing to me right here up to bat is Ariel Garcia, a guy that filled in for Gonzalez when Gonzalez went down with an injury mid-season there. And Garcia did a good job at the plate, taking advantage of his opportunities. Hit .306 in 32 games, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, and OPS of .937. Certainly impressive. A guy that can play kind of all over the middle infield, playing some third base. That's where he'll be at today, as well as shortstop with his fielding assignments. Gets the ball down to right field, just foul there. And as you can see, that down that right field line, that's where that hitting the indoor practice facility for the baseball team. They got a couple mounds in there, but batting cages. Team in the program is certainly excited to have that. They've had that for a couple years now. Is once again down that right field line. You know, they've got the bullpens out in foul territory now. Same way in left field. That's the big change when you come to the ballpark. Taking a look at it here. You know, a big pitch there by Ziehl. Gets a strikeout. Swing in there of Garcia. Garcia unable to drive in runs, but runners on the corner, and Ziehl does a good job. He gets 2 outs early, get a couple guys on base, but he kind of works through it. Karson Ligon on the mound here in the bottom of the first. Ligon's a guy that did well at times last year as a true freshman. The 15 starts, goes 6-6, 4.9 ERA, 67 strikeouts, and 75 innings. Facing Jacoby Long here to start it off. You know, and with Ligon and being in that spot of having to be a starter, earning the rotation start as a true freshman can be difficult at times, and he certainly showed flashes throughout the year. He was going 6-7 innings at the beginning of the season, looked great. You know, his ERA was down, he did a good job, and then at Pittsburgh, and that was it felt like the turning point. Kind of after that, he had another good start, but against Pitt, 8 strikeouts, 1 run allowed, 8 innings, which was a season high, got the win there in late April, and then after that, you know, he had some rough outings, and down the stretch, lost his last 4 starts there. Base hit by Long, goes the opposite way, gets the ball to drop right in front of Carrier there, gets on base. And Jacoby's been in the program a couple years now and still competing for a spot in center field with Gomez in with this team. And see if Jacoby can kind of just stay in this role, if he can kind of be a guy that can produce there when he gets his opportunities. Has some speed, noted for being a good defensive center fielder as well. But getting on base and is certainly a big part here. Renzo Gonzalez up to bat. You know, and I'm going to put the full roster of the team is going to be on the comments. You can see the numbers there, kind of line it up as you're watching along. Renzo Gonzalez, the guy that can play outfield, one of those corner spots. Also provides some relief at first base with Kafis, left-handed bat. And Long's trying to steal second, and Jack Scanlon throws him out. An Oregon transfer, another guy competing at catcher here. Scanlon showing off the arm. A tall catcher, that's what stands out. You know, and here's Andrew Walters on what he expects from this upcoming season.
You know, it's exciting, but I mean, just kind of fuels my fire to work harder this year.
Can you talk about the differences of now being outside field play?
I guess we don't have anybody, protect us like back there anymore. Normally I have to have a guy, protect the bullpen. Now you just go out there, you get kind of your own space. You don't have to worry about, balls flying. So it's kind of nice.
Ryan was talking to me about the culture. You guys want to establish something like that?
Yeah. Like now it's like our own kind of like little spaces as staff. Just go out there, maybe stretch, do bands and all that stuff. So we kind of have like our own little space now as pitchers. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
That's dangerous when you pitchers too much time.
Oh yeah, that's a part of being a staff though. That's what makes it cool.
Speaking of staff, Gino said that starters got to work on I felt like you guys kind of faltered towards the end of the season because stuff like that. You guys do as a staff to make sure.
We just got to get better performance out of our starters late. We kind of fell apart late in the season, and this year we got to make sure we stay strong. So, starters got to extend. We got to get them 6 innings, and the bullpen, I think, was our best asset last year, and we're going to keep that for sure.
Does that feel like the season last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you just kind of you got to move on. It did suck. I'm not going to lie to you. Hosting a regional here and being able to not pull through with that was not exciting, but I mean, got to respond for this season. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I mean, you hate to lose as a baseball player, so I mean, a win's a win. But when you hate to luse, you always remember them, and you always never want to let that happen again.
Andrew, how special is this season going to be for you and your brother now that you guys are on the same team?
It's really exciting to be honest with you. I mean, not many people get to say they get to play Division I baseball with their own brothers, so I'm excited to see. I'm excited to show them, what it means to be out here. This D1 level baseball culture, especially here at Miami. I think it's going to be really fun. Yeah, I mainly use that, just to work on my secondary stuff and become a better, well-rounded pitcher. But when it comes to that, whatever he needs me to do this season, what we're going to do on our trip to Omaha.
So Perez gets the base hit to left field after Gonzalez strikes out. 2-out hit here in the bottom of the first inning, and you hear Walters. He's going to make his first outing of the preseason on Saturday. Scheduled to go 3 innings, so definitely check out InsideTheU.com for information on how he performed. Got 2 outs here. Runner on first base for Ian Farrow. Big bat from Florida Gulf Coast, kind of working in at right field. A guy that could play some left as well for the Hurricanes. 21 home runs a year ago. And that's the thing that stands out about, these guys that Miami has brought in, some guys that have produced at this level. Certainly it's going to be a step up in competition for both Gomez and Farrow. But it's Division I baseball, make a transition. Playing at a higher profile program will also be an adjustment for both of these guys. But I know they're excited. They're glad to be Hurricanes, and certainly the Hurricanes are glad to have these guys. They need these guys to both be high contributors. As Perez gets back to first there. Perez has some sneaky speed for a catcher, watching him in some base running drills. He was clocking in, stealing second at a good speed, also getting back to first base. They're working on the timing there on leadoffs and making sure you're not getting picked off. So Perez does have some good speed. He's a guy that was, as I mentioned, a highly regarded recruit. Hit 191 last year in 22 games. Earned 7 starts at catcher, 5 at DH. OPS is 617. Dealt with a finger injury. I know they expected him to kind of be a middle of the order bat. As Farrow strikes out here for the end of the first inning. So far some good action so far. We'll go to the top of the second here with Ziehl back on the mound as Ligon talks with pitching coach J.D. Arteaga. Top of the second, Blake Sear, highly regarded freshman, up to bat here. He's a guy that I'm excited to see how he does this year. He's a guy that certainly would look to get some playing time. You know, he's got all-around good skills. Middle infielder, a guy that can play all three spots there. At second, short, and third. He's a number 34 shortstop, according to Perfect Game in this 2022 recruiting class, number 150 overall, which would make him one of the more highly regarded guys that entered college baseball, because those rankings include all of the guys that go to the draft as well. But Sear, good glove, good arm, strikes out here, disappointed. But also, you know, he's got good speed too. You know, I think he's a guy that can just do a lot of different things. I think Miami Hurricanes fans should be excited about Sear in the program and his future. It's one of these guys to really watch for. If anybody falters, you know, I think Sear is going to be right there. The key for guys like that is just to make sure you take advantage of your opportunities when you get them. It's hard sometimes for young players because the opportunities don't come very often. Typically, if you play maybe a midweek game or get a late game at bat, but you just have to make that adjustment. When you get in there, when you get your at-bats, you got to produce, find ways to produce. So one out here, we got Lorenzo Carrier up to bat. Showed a lot of excitement last year, starting off the year, his freshman year. With the bang, you know, he's a guy that only played 15 games a year ago, hit 250, OPS 941, hit 2 home runs, 2 doubles and a triple, 9 RBIs in just the 15 games. I know he was in store for a big year. That's going to be a big thing here. The slider's away, as you can see there. Got Carrier as a right-handed bat. You know, you assume pitchers are going to throw that to him, so we'll see if he can kind of stay on it. Show good plate discipline will be key for him. For any guy with a big bat, also that long swing there. So 2 strikeouts to start off the second inning for Ziehl. Has 3 already. His last 3 batters he struck out here. In a nice groove after allowing a couple base hits and a walk. Now struck out 3 in a row. Gabby Gutierrez up to bat here. Gutierrez showing a good bat. Hit 247 a year ago, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 802 on the OPS. Was kind of emerged as the team's primary right fielder. He had 14 starts there, but just kind of late in the season. Ended up with 21 total starts. He also started 7 games in left field. Played 47 games. As they were kind of searching last year to find the last outfielder. Ever since Carrier went down, they were kind of rotating different guys in, and Gutierrez stepped up there. I think he's in a big battle this season. Not only with the guys returning, like a guy like Villegas, who put up better numbers from a year ago, but again, you've got some guys like Farrow and Carrier now back in the mix, and they're looking to start and be key players along with Gomez. So I think guys like Gutierrez, Villegas, all these guys have to figure out ways to either earn. That's why this preseason is big for these guys. And also the DH spot, I think, can come from an outfielder. There's a big bat coming up in the infield that I'm going to talk about. But nice base hit going to right field there by Gutierrez. As you can see, just in this first few innings, guys going to right field, a good sign. Opposite way here for these right-handed bats. So Gutierrez is aboard with 2 outs. Top of the second, facing Ziehl for his second inning of work. Going 3 innings today, along with Ligon. This is scheduled for these guys. As Scanlon steps to the plate for Oregon. From Oregon, the Oregon transfer here, left-handed bat. Obviously throws right-handed as a catcher. Gets one up on a pop-up. So good work by Ziehl. 3 up, 3 down, and we're going to go to the bottom of the second. The guys due up with J.D. Jones, Dario Gomez, Edgar Villegas. Here in the bottom of the second, we're going to go to head coach Gino DiMare.
Well, we obviously first day official practice by NCAA rules. We've been out here, but it's been individual workouts. Excited. It's been a long kind of break for us. We finished a little earlier this fall because we've had to do some renovations here. We got a new field and some new facilities we've done here. So we did finish a little earlier. So it's been a little bit longer break than we normally would, but it worked out good because our field is ready to go. And no, we're excited. You know, we got obviously high expectations for the team. Last year was disappointing. We had a great opportunity right here in our own ballpark, hosting as a national seed, and came up short. And we got a lot of guys back from that team I know are hungry, and hopefully that experience will get us over the hump and get us back to Omaha. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's all a process, a learning process. There was some tough games. You know, we lost late. Just the whole series, to be honest with you. Even though we won the first game, we went to our bullpen way too early. Something we've talked about. We need our starters to go longer in games. This all has a domino effect, I think, because we went early in the bullpen, and we went to our bullpen a lot throughout the second half of the season. We did not get good enough quality starts from our starters. You could even go to Karson, who was really, really good for us on Friday nights. He averaged about 5 innings a start. That's just not enough for a starter here at Miami if we're going to be successful. We need to go deeper in the games, turn the ball over. We feel like we have arguably the best closer in the country. Right now, I'm not saying that. He's right now preparing to be a starter. I have an idea who I think our starters should be. I definitely think Andrew Walters closing out games for the University of Miami is best for the University of Miami, but we're going to see these next 3 weeks. We've already had one inter-squad scrimmage. They will have 3 more starts, and then and guys will throw throughout. The bullpen guys will throw more than that, but their starters will have 3 more starts, and we'll make that decision when the time is right for that. But there's no doubt, I'm hoping a lot of the guys that came back from that. We have a lot of good leaders on this team, maybe more than I can recall, in terms of veteran guys that are just high character guys that have the right attitude and the right mentality. Doesn't mean you're always going to win everything, but I certainly like that as a coach. It helps because it just it carries and trickles down to the rest of the team. Yeah. Well, at our level, they should be. I mean, they're prepared to throw 100 pitches. If you're throwing 100 pitches in 5 innings, that's not a quality start. That's too many pitches. So, I mean, if we can get through 6, that's fine. If you can turn it over to the bullpen in the 7th inning, that's fine. If you get a starter that throws 7 innings, that's a bonus. That's great. That obviously means he's being very efficient, and that's what a starter needs to learn to do. You're not going to pitch at the next level if you're throwing 100, 110 pitches and you can't get through 5 innings. That's just not going to work. So you're right, and in this day and age, but at our level, guys need to be prepared for that, because certainly at the next level, absolutely, if you're going to be a starter, you're throwing 100-plus pitches and starts. Well, it's huge. You know, it's always good when your top players are some of your higher character guys. I mean, that's just a huge bonus for us. Walters is that kind of guy. If I think of some of our veteran guys that are those guys, think of Zach Levinson, Alejandro Torres, Ronnie Gallo, Gage Ziehl, who's younger than those guys, second year here, but he's only a sophomore. But no doubt, Yo-Yo, he's kind of the Pied Piper of the team. Everybody looks up to him. The eyes are on him. He handles himself very well, very mature. He's very loose. You don't ever see him down. You don't ever see him pouting. No negativity from him. I mean, that can only be a good thing for the rest of the guys around. So yes, when you have your best, and it doesn't always work that way, when you have your best player, can be your leader like that, and everybody look up to, not just because of how he plays, but how he handles himself. Yo-Yo's got that it factor. It helps. Well, it's more for safety reasons, one, because fortunately, knock on wood, we haven't. I don't recall in all my years, might have had I'm sure we've had a few guys go over, on a pop-up, whether it's a first base, second baseman, or corner outfielder, both bullpens, and have some guys wipe out there. I don't think we've had any serious injuries, but it is a hazard. You shouldn't have your bullpens in play. We also had our bullpens thrown the wrong way for so many years. They're not thrown in the direction they should be thrown in, which is the way it is on the field. So for those reasons, we've been wanting to do it for some time, and so it was nice to be able to do it for both sides here. So yesterday was kind of my first day being out on the field with us taking BP, and it was nice to see balls being hit over there. Didn't have to worry about any issues. We're trying to throw bullpens during practice. JD's got his back turned. Again, we were throwing the opposite direction. Don't ask me why, that's the way it always was. But you know, JD and the pitcher, they got their back to the hitter, and it's just a constant worrying about. It's silly, but serious. Constant thing, have to worry about balls coming at you. So we won't have to worry about that anymore.
Coach, who are the young players on this roster? You know, you've had the football camp that we talked there, but the football camp was the young player on this roster that's been sticking out to you, taking a minute.
Well, young player, I will say freshmen, because we have new players that have really, you have the portal now and transfers. But in terms of freshmen and young players, on the offensive side, I'd say Blake Sear. Blake Sear is an exciting player to watch. He plays with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. He can swing the bat. He's got a lot of bat speed. He can run. He's very quick. He's playing some second, some short. He'll even play a little third today. Obviously, we feel good about our third baseman and shortstop last year. Dorian did a very good job at second last year, and when he went down, Ariel did a very good job over there, so we do have a little bit of a battle at second base, but Blake stands out to me as a hitter, no doubt, for the young guys. On the pitching side, we've had a few guys. We do have veteran, we're a veteran team, so we have some veteran pitchers, so the opportunity for some of our younger guys is going to be out of the pen, but Ashton Crowther, as a left-handed pitcher, stands out to me, and maybe as a right-hander, we only have a couple freshman right-handers, but maybe Sebastian Perez. But rookie-wise, we have some portal guys that are first-year guys. Ian Farrell came from Florida Gulf Coast, who I didn't know until Josh told me, I guess yesterday, he broke the record for season home runs and RBIs at Florida Gulf Coast. He had a great year. That I do know because we faced him 3 times last year. Dario Gomez has really stood out to me. He's been an excellent kind of old school, I always say that because I am a player here from a long time ago, but an old school Miami player that's really tough. And he could be possibly a leadoff guy for us. He could possibly play center field. He has played at a high level at Nevada for 2 years and played very, very well. So he's a guy that's proven himself too. It has totally changed it. Recruiting has definitely changed. So now your recruiting class, you have to make sure you're balanced, especially with us speaking from a partial scholarship sport, and we're almost like a salary cap team, if you will. We have to worry about where our money is and where it's going. And if you bring in too many freshmen, remember the portal for us and recruiting, the bulk of it is in the summer, right when the season ends. That's when you see a lot of activity with whether it's our players might be leaving or other players leaving, and now you're fighting. And it's a crazy battle, and it's a very quick one over the summer of trying to get to see players play, and you better have money for those guys. So you can't bring in maybe as many freshmen. And of course, you're going to have some JUCO transfers. You got to, especially in our state, we have good JUCO baseball. You got to keep in mind you have to save some money for those portal guys because, to be honest, it's the college baseball's gotten better because of that. You're going to have a lot of older guys playing. The whole pandemic and getting that extra year is going to come up in a year or two here, and that will be over. So you won't have those 23-year-olds playing anymore. But still, you're going to have more veteran guys, freshmen coming in. Are going to be battling guys that have been playing college baseball for 4 years at other places maybe and started and they transfer into a big school like Miami. So it has its pros and cons, there's no doubt. It is what it is. It's not going anywhere. I certainly don't like the fact that when things don't work out in life, you just hang it up and go somewhere else. That's not exactly the lesson learned in life. But in some cases it does work out, and it is a good thing for guys. But in the overall big picture, that's what we have, and that's what we have to deal with.
Gino, with 7 teams, right, ACC team, right, and you play the other 6, I think that's positive to get the national seed?
It can. I mean, in our conference and playing in our state and having to play the Gators every year, our strength of schedule is always going to be good. It's just set in stone. We don't ever have to worry about it because the ACC is so good in baseball, and we play Florida outside for a weekend series, and the fact that all our midweek games are they're in state schools. Florida's pretty good baseball in the state of Florida, so all those FAUs and FIUs going to be better now. They're all good, and so the bottom line is you got to win. If you win, and with our schedule that's set every year, then what happened last year, even though we faltered and we limped into it last year, we still were a national seed because of our overall record against the strength of the schedule. And so that's always a good thing. And I tell our guys, you don't have to worry about one of those teams that, we got to win 45, 48 games, even 50 games, whatever it may be, because our strength of schedule is not very good, or our conference is maybe not very good, or our out of conference is not good. That's never going to be a problem here in Miami.
I'll do a few more for Gino.
Coach, speaking of the schedule, you started the season off with 8 consecutive home games. How important is it to get the fan support or to give you guys some momentum to win those early games?
Yeah, it's always important. I mean, you know, the fans is huge here. Times have changed over the years at Miami, there's no doubt. I was just talking to somebody the other day about it, and when I played here, there was nothing going on. There was no Heat, there was no Panthers, there was no Marlins, which all three can be going on at the same time of our season, by the way, and of course the Dolphins wouldn't be going on, but that's all we had was the Dolphins and Miami football and baseball. We didn't have basketball here for 15 years. While I was growing up, we didn't even have basketball. So the baseball was everything. That's not going to come back. We understand that. There's other things to battle. But look, we don't have a 10,000 seated capacity stadium. I like to say 5,000. It's probably not that anymore. But whatever it is, it'd be sure would be nice to fill it up. I've always said this, and I'm not just saying this as a coach. There's no better ticket in town. Period. None. For a family, for kids, to come to a ballpark, to be entertained, to watch good baseball, and all the outside entertainment that goes with it. We're right here in the heart of the southwestern part of Coral Gables, but we're in an easy, accessible place to get to. And our team will be fun to watch. This team will be fun to watch. And I hope the fans will come out and support us. Obviously, it's nice to play in front of fans, so hopefully that'll be the case.
So Jason Torres goes down swinging, a freshman third baseman, the number 10 third baseman in the recruiting class, a guy that hit 9 home runs out of Miami Springs, a guy with a big bat, another guy that I think could maybe compete for that DH spot along with those outfielders. Caden Martin, another freshman due up here right now, batting from the left side. Highly regarded guy. He's Miami's top rated recruit in this class. Number 16 outfielder, the 67th overall player in the class out of Buford, Georgia. And you can see right here, they're playing him to pull, so it's going to be something he's going to have to get used to. Not sure if he saw this a lot at the high school level, but certainly with the shift here. And he tries to go down left field. You can see that new bullpen down there. That's the visitors' bullpen down the left field line. So Martin trying to battle here. 2 strikes here, bottom of the third. Gage Ziehl's final line, 3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He gets the off-speed pitch, gets him looking there. Nice pitch by Ligon. That's his 5th strikeout of the day, so he's pitched well. Again, no runs for Ligon either. So 2 outs here, bottom of the third, strikes out the first 2 batters. Ligon has now struck out 3 in a row. Blake Sears up to bat. In the bottom of the third as Ligon looks to close out strong. He's going to go 3 innings. So you get a chance to see all 3 freshmen, the top 3 freshmen in this recruiting class that are all hitters. Torres, Martin, and Sear here. Sear shows bunt out of Windermere, Florida. You know, Sear's another guy, as I mentioned, I think he can do a lot of different things, and that's why I think he's got a bright future. He's got a lot of skills as a middle infielder between his arm, his speed. I think he's got some pop in the bat as well. As he lines a base hit to left field there. Good turn, good production. You want to see guys that get off to some good starts here in the preseason. So his first base hit of the preseason here. I'm curious to see if they're going to send him. You know, the Miami sent their other guys earlier here. Try to swipe some bases. Maybe they're going to be more aggressive than they were a year ago. 53 stolen bases last year. They got 78% of their steals, attempts were steals. So Sear looks like he tried to go. But a good read by Jones there. Goes ahead and throws down to second. Gino giving some instructions here. Down the line at as a third base coach as well, kind of playing that role. It's something he's always enjoyed doing. So here's Carrier up to bat. Struck out in his first at bat. And Jones definitely is keeping his eye on Sear, so maybe he's not going to go. Sear with a good leadoff and trying to be aggressive, and Jones is doing his best. Scanlon already threw out a runner, as well as Perez. So Jones just making sure he's keeping an eye on Sear. So you got the pickoff, caught stealing there, so Sear goes down for the third out. And that's going to wrap things up. So Ligon's final line, 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Certainly a good performance from him as he struck out 3 in a row. But I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Definitely comment below. Let me know what you think about this team. Also hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Thanks for watching, and take care.